Welcome back to the second section of the three-part tutorial on how to increase the performance of a Windows computer. In this section, we'll be doing the equivalent of removing excess paper from a filing cabinet and tidying it up into a continuous section. This is known as defragmenting and is probably the most effective part of this tutorial and will show the most instant effects. First off, we're going to need to delete all of the excess data that we no longer need. You'll be really surprised at how much stuff Windows has in temporary storage. 9 times out of 10, you ain't going to need any of this. So to remove it, we're going to use a very famous piece of software called CCleaner, or Crap Cleaner for short. So this is arguably the quickest way to delete temporary files and probably the easiest to use. So after installing it, this is what we get up. And you have options galore in here, and I'm just going to quickly talk you through what they all do. So it comes in sections, and what's checked is basically what's going to be deleted. You've also got the second tab, applications, which is more down to stuff you've installed like Firefox and Google Chrome, and I myself generally keep cookies unchecked and sometimes internet cache, because I want my passwords on there and stuff so I can quickly log into websites. I'm a little bit lazy, so I just keep that unchecked, and all you have to do is click Analyze, and it tells you how much can be removed by doing this, and Run. If you click Run, it analyzes first, so don't worry. Then it will say this will permanently delete files from your system, so just be aware of that. You ain't going to get it back unless we do a little bit of recovery, which I'll do in a next video sometime later on. So 432 megabytes has been removed. That's quite a lot for temporary files, and you actually never see all the stuff that's in here. So we've removed quite a big chunk without doing much at all. So the second tab of this is the registry part. Now, when programs uninstall or install, they often leave like muddy footprints in the configuration and information database that we call the registry. These really often slow down the opening of some programs when it tries to look for things that aren't there anymore. So what we do is scan for all of these issues and the muddy footprints that are in the registry. And once it picks those up, usually what it does is just deletes them straight from it. So we click Scan for Issues. Let's see what comes up. So we just click Fix Selected Issues, and backup change to the registry unless you're feeling adventurous. Put it in somewhere that we all know. And call this backup. If I can actually type right. And if you look, most of these solutions delete the registry value. Delete the registry key, value key. Fix all. And there we go. That's a lot of the other crap that's gone. And these will make programs start faster, and there'll be less errors, so it doesn't have to do as much. That's basically all we need for Crap Cleaner. So the next step in this video is to defragment. Now, what this basically means is it stacks files up and squeezes them together and removes the fragmentation of files. So files, what they tend to do is split up. So it could be just a Word document or something like that, but you may find that one part of it goes to one side of the hard drive, another part of it goes to the other side, and it takes twice as long in order to read the same file. So Windows has this built-in defragmenter, and it works pretty well. However, it is a little bit sluggish and does more than necessary. But what we're going to use instead is a little bit more sophisticated Defragler, and it comes from the same company who makes CCleaner, so we know it's pretty good. Now if we open this up, this is what we see, and we click Analyze on one of our disks, and it takes a look at what we have on there and kind of represents it for us. So now it tells us what we've got on our system, and if we have a look at the drive map, it tells us what's what. And yeah, so this drive is mainly clean. It's got a lot of blue, and there's the page file that we were talking about earlier. And when we make the page file bigger, it can expand beyond its limits and fragment. So we'll talk about that later. And then we've got a couple of fragmented files at the end there for no reason. Your drive may look a lot more red than this because I defragment quite regularly. So you can either do this the quick way or the long way, and the quicker it's done, the less cleaning is done, but I'll talk through all your options after I've shown the method. So we're going to just click defrag here, and once it's gone through, then we'll see that everything is a lot more shifted and we'll see a lot less red. What else we need to do though is, because this page file is probably not in one piece on your system, we need to fix that. Now, if you're on Windows XP, you can kind of skip this, and I'll show you that program in a second, but I can't use it because I'm on Windows 7. Now, the page file can't normally be defragmented because Windows uses it non-stop, and you can't rearrange it. It's just like trying to take a wheel off a car when it's spinning, and unless you want to get your hands chopped off, you won't take it off. Just don't go there, right? So what we do instead is remove it, restart it, then put it back on again. So if this file, I don't know, let's say 3 of these chunks are in here somewhere and the other 3 are over here, then what we do is, by removing it, it will put it here, all with those 7 blobs, and they'll all be in one piece. And if it's in one piece, then the hard drive can read to it much quicker than if it was scattered about. So here's how we do that. Right click Computer, Properties, Advanced System Settings, or you may not need to do this step if you're on XP, Performance, Advanced, and there's our virtual memory again, our paging file. So, just like we were doing in the last one, all we need to do is set no paging file, and then click set. When we do this, it will tell us to restart. So as long as we've finished defragmenting, then we just restart as we would normally. When we return, we simply go back there, set it back to our custom size that we set in part 1, and it's done, and it will appear just as we see here. So, as I said earlier, you can either do this the quick way or the long way. The quickest way to do it is remove the page file, just as we've seen, or we'll defrag the page file in Windows XP. Then you do a quick defrag, and I'll show you one of those in a minute. And then we put the page file back. So that's it, remove page file, quick defrag, and then put the page file back. The better way to do it is remove the page file, defrag, put the page file back, and then defrag again. So I'll give a little representation of this. Now on to our final one. The best one to do would be defrag, page file, defrag again, put the page file back, then defrag again. So I hope you see the pattern with this defragging stuff. All you need to do is remove the page file, defrag, put the page file back on, defrag, do something else, defrag, have a coffee, defrag, and you keep going on. But once you've sorted out your page file, once it's in a nice regular shape, and you don't mind it being a little bit scattered from the rest, you see there's a lot of blank space there, you don't really need to sort it out ever again, and all you need to do is just maintain and defrag every month or so, or even more frequently is ideal. And that's after you get rid of your stuff with CCleaner, because you do get quite a lot of temporary stuff quite quickly. Now, also that quick defrag thing on our quickest way can be done by clicking this arrow, and then you click the quick defrag section. So we can do that on this drive, which is fairly defragmented anyhow and probably isn't a fair test, to be honest. But it goes a lot faster than doing it normally. And look how many files are being done every second. Done. That was quick, and it's pretty much blue across the board. It doesn't do as good a job as defrag, of course, because defrag really gets in there and sorts out the nitty-gritty details. So yeah, that's how you do it. And I'll just put a list of the quickest, better and best ways, because that's probably useful to you. But that's all there is in this video, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll be explaining how to alter the startup of your computer if you're experiencing sluggish startups, and we'll tweak the small things that add up to make a stable system. See you there.